the channel, guys. We can introduce the newest addition to our arsenal, our Ineos Grenadier. So this thing's not replacing the truck. It will be accompanying the truck on a lot of the trips. This next trip that we're doing, unfortunately, it's going to have to sit this one out and stay at home. But we just bought this. First impressions, happy as Larry. Absolutely happy as Larry. A little bit of background to the Grenadier. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, quite a wealthy Pommy or British businessman, wanted to buy the rights from Land Rover to build the Defender using their tooling, and Land Rover declined. So he said, fine, we'll build our own. And that's exactly what he's done. He was a big fan of the Land Rover Defender, used them many times on a lot of his expeditions, and he's put a team of people together and they've come up with this. Our first impressions, like I say, are really good. It's very, very comfortable. It's well appointed, and so far we're happy as Larry. We've only done a few kilometres in it basically. We managed to get a deal too good to pass up from Expedition HQ. We took this one out originally as a test, or for a test drive, to see if we actually liked the car. It wasn't just a passing fad. And lo and behold, it came up for sale. So they rang us up and said, are you interested? Short answer, too right. Very, very interested. But come on, I'll give you a bit of a look around. It's, for those that are interested, like I say, it's well appointed. We've got Brembo brakes front and rear, the BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres, and this is all standard on the things. They're quite, I hate the phrase, utilitarian. But that's what they're built for. I've yet to see a vehicle anywhere with the load carrying capacity or ability to carry loads on the doors. These rails are becoming quite popular on the floors of vehicles, but I've never seen them before on the side of a vehicle. So we've got our rock sliders come in all standard. This X-Spec gear, this is all designed and built in-house at Expedition HQ, SLRV. So Expedition HQ is their four-wheel drive side of the business. SLRV are all the Expedition trucks. But they design and build all this in here specifically for this vehicle. And now they ship them all over the world. So easy enough to take on and off, 2 bolts, a couple of bolts, and the whole thing will come off. On this side here, we're going to be putting our treads, like the equivalent to Max Tracks. So that will sit up there. You can put a number of other things up there, pantries and jerry cans and so on. On the other side, we've got the jerry can. It's only a 20 litre. But I was just walking around there before, having a quick look around the trailer. We've got the outboard mounted up there and the quad bike in there. We won't be taking the quad bike with us, we'll be taking the motorbike. But this was quick and easy to load, and it's heavier. So I wanted to put some weight on the trailer just to see how it handles. We're heading up on the Queen Mary's Road Falls, we'll part the way up there, and then heading out onto Condamine River Road. There's about 14 creek crossings, and it's classified as a 4-wheel drive track, but it's only just light duty. But it was a case of take it out somewhere reasonably local, scenic, and give the trailer a test drive. The Ineos, well, that's just designed for that sort of thing anyway. But Just doing a quick look around. So far nothing has come loose. The outboard sitting up here is doing what it's supposed to do. Just sit there. So we'll keep the walk around, and that's a couple of 100 litres of water, the quad bike, the outboard, and all that sort of stuff there. It's put about 1.2 tonne on the trailer. So my main concern is how the trailer rides, how it tracks. So far, very good. I'm happy, but it's all been highway running, and you would expect it to ride fairly well. Back to the Ineos. This is a 20 litre container. We can gravity feed from the end of the tank into the fuel tank, or there is a pump available that you can just drop into the tank here and pump it down there. And you can also put that pump into a jerry can on the ground and pump up to there. So we will look at that a little bit further down the track. Anyway, we'll head up the road before we get run over, and see how it all works. We'll show you a bit more around the car in a little bit. Cheers, guys. Another test done. We've just offloaded the quad bike. We've come back from our test run, and I'm happy to say that even though it wasn't a heavy duty test run with really rough roads and the likes, it performed fairly well. I was quite happy with it. It tracked nicely. Not that there was an issue previously, but it rode, I'll say, a little bit better over the rough stuff. The rough stuff turned out to be the bitumen. Our good old Queensland back roads, black stuff, is rougher than the dirt road that we went out on. Admittedly, it had been recently graded. But we took it down through the Condamine River Road. I think there's 14 or 15 water crossings that we went through, creek crossings. Some of them were surprisingly deep. There was up to the middle of the axles on this. but I didn't have any dramas with it, and they're fairly rocky underneath. The clearance underneath the trailer is okay, although I'd like it to be a bit better. But I'm happy as Larry with the way it was riding at present. As far as things like the outboard sitting up on top, that sat there surprisingly well, and nothing came loose, nothing moved about. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic at this stage that it will handle the deserts and wherever else that we're going. It should be an epic sort of a trip. We're going to meet up with some friends in 2 different places, so we'll end up with more than 1 truck. Actually, we'll probably end up with 3 trucks. Not Hiluxes calling themselves trucks, these will be trucks like ours. So that could be an interesting little adventure with the 3 of us cut loose out there. But for the trailer at this stage, yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up for now. Like I say, optimistically cautious, or cautiously optimistic. As far as the Ineos was concerned, yeah, that was a pleasant drive and very easy. I don't know, 260 k's round trip. Probably 2/3 of that was on the black stuff, unfortunately. Yeah, it was a good little afternoon's run. So I'm yet to put this up against the truck. It should be okay. One of the things that I found when we were towing with the truck and the trailer, the height of the tow setup was very, very different. So the nose of the trailer was quite high sitting on the back of this. But now with this load sharing suspension, the nose can be up considerably higher and we'll still have equal load. What I was finding that down on the last trip from here to Melbourne and back, the tyre temperatures, the front tyres were stone cold, the back temperatures were quite hot by comparison. Now with this suspension, it will be permanent 50-50 load on there and won't have irregular wear on the tyres. That's just one of the bonuses for it. With the wider mudguards, I'll be able to see it just that little bit easier from behind. But we've still got 2 cameras on the back of the truck, so I can keep an eye on it anyway. But I'm going to call it a day. We've offloaded the quad. I'll go and put this thing here away, tuck the Ineos into bed, and yeah, we'll call it a day. So cheers guys. Don't forget, like and subscribe, give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget about comments, ask questions. We're really interested in people's opinions and thoughts on this. There's some very clever people out there. So I want to hear your feedback on the suspension setup and whether or not you've had any issues with outboards on trailers. So cheers for now guys. We'll see you somewhere out in the beaten track, some dirty, dusty back track somewhere, but this time in the truck. Cheers guys.